Good evening, and welcome to our weekly executive briefing grid. I am Melissa Ambers. We are streaming live across executive video networks, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Our permanent audio archives are syndicating directly to iHeartRadio and Pandora. We establish this room every single Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time to tackle high level corporate design realities. We highly respect your calendar, which is why we bypass generic marketing bluff to deliver a focused 15 to 20-minute operational diagnostic. Tonight, we kick off our Advanced Deep Dive Masterclass series. We are opening up the organizational blueprints on a concept that most leadership teams talk about, but very few know how to execute: structuring the corporate core for AI readiness. Let's begin with a blunt, unvarnished market reality. True digital readiness is never a software purchase. The watered down narrative currently cluttering the corporate landscape suggests that achieving digital transformation is as simple as buying a license to a new automated tool. This represents a fundamental misunderstanding of strategic business design. If your underlying manual workflows are fractured and the introduction of advanced tools will not save your enterprise, it will only accelerate your operational inefficiencies. Before your leadership team signs up on another technical budget, you must audit the structural baseline of your core workflows. On your screen, you will see the Structural Audit Baseline matrix. As an executive, you can use this clean three-tier framework to benchmark your exact organizational compatibility. Identify where your operations sit right now. In column one, it represents the red layer, which is fractured and manual workflows. In this zone, your enterprise data is being manually manipulated across teams. You are experiencing severe operational friction, constant process drag, and a dangerously high risk of information duplication and error. Most leadership teams try to escape the red layer by rushing to column two, the yellow layer, isolated software automation. But when you deploy independent software tools in silos, your departments continue working completely out of alignment. Your customer experience endpoints fail to feed your development core, creating a massive drain on corporate margins. Our objective over this deep dive series is to bypass the temporary patches of the yellow layer entirely. We are building a systematic path straight to column three, the blue layer: synchronized enterprise and fracture. This is the state where clean data pipelines are unified across all work streams. Automated repetition perfectly augments human strategic intuition and real time institutional intelligence streams directly to the C suite. Look at the comparative visual. When a leadership team buys an independent software tools, they are isolated. They are merely applying a short-term bandage to a deep structural fracture. According to global enterprise data, over 70% of digital transformations stall specifically because independent departments fail to synchronize their workflows. As detailed in my book, Strategic Synergy, true performance optimization requires a permanent process skeleton. Your data lines must serve as an interconnected backbone that bridges the operational gaps between customer experience amplification, development security operations, and automated work streams. We must integrate your system so cleanly that the infractor handles the repetition, freeing your human capital to drive strategic market growth. This brings us directly to the core concept of our second phase, understanding the explicit dividing line between a temporary tool and a true permanent infractor. If your enterprise treats technology as a series of isolated utilities, you will remain trapped in a cycle of constant manual patches. True core readiness requires an enterprise layout that governs information systematically from input to insight. To successfully move your business into the optimized blue layer, you must establish a systematic data pipeline. Look closely at the horizontal structure track displayed on your screen. True operational readiness requires information to move through three strict verified stopping nodes. Phase one is ingestion. This requires clean data entry, meaning you systematically eliminate manual human data duplication at the very gate of your enterprise. You must establish standardized, unvarnished intake metrics before information ever moves inward. Phase two, processing. This is where you implement documented workflows that are backed directly into your technical foundation. This process completely erases dependency on individual employees, institutional memory, securing your operational continuity. Only when these first two nodes are secured, you can reach phase three, the output. This is the integration layer that instantly streams data across customer experience, development, security, and operations. It equips your executive decision makers with real time intelligence to mitigate market risks. If a single node in this horizontal track is unmapped, your technology becomes a corporate liability instead of an asset. Achieving the level of market synchronization requires corporate leaders to engage in a heavy, deliberate process of unlearning and relearning. We have to challenge the historical management habits that are quietly stalling our operational efficiency. Let's look directly at the behavior matrix that drives this transformation. In chapter 6 of my book, Beyond Business as Usual, Leading in the Digital Era, I focus extensively on this institutional requirement. Look at the unlearning matrix displayed on your screen right now. As executives, we have to completely unlearn the outdated legacy blind spot that digital transformation belongs solely to the IT department. Digital transformation is not an IT project. We must relearn how to claim executive command over these frameworks. Owning the digital framework as a primary, cross functional business strategy driven directly from leadership. To move past temporary patches and kickstart a permanent operational shift within your business this week, we must look directly at how these layers connect. Before we pull up our next organizational diagram, let us establish a baseline definition for a frequently misused executive boardroom term, cross functional synchronization. True operational alignment is never achieved by simply forcing independent departments to send emails or sit in meetings. It requires a deliberate process optimization strategy where your technical workflows feed into your management layers automatically. When a business lacks a synchronized core, information stalls, manual data errors multiply, and departments operate as completely isolated silos. To correct this operational friction, let's look directly at how data must scale within a heavy enterprise infrastructure. To execute this strategy within your organization, Look at how data underscores our operational process map swim lines. Clean data entry must start at the base, technical and fracture layer through a clean ingestion gate. That information then scales into the middle operations management layer via a cross-functional sync matrix. This structural baseline is what safely populates your real-time executive dashboard at the leadership layer. Let's let the visual reality of the mapping process guide your strategic planning models for the upcoming quarter. Because when your fracture layer is manual and broken, the data feeding your leadership database, I'm sorry, the data feeding your leadership dashboard is an active business liability, not an asset. You cannot fix corrupted baseline information by adding clean front end graphics or temporary software patches. True mitigation begins by addressing your manual technical debt right at the ingestion points. This week, challenge your leadership team to audit your internal pipelines honestly. Identify where your operational data degrades before it compromises your executive decision capabilities. Because true digital transformation is never about chasing short term tools, it is about securing your long term corporate scale. Look at the devastating reality of what occurs when those core pipelines are ignored. The Infrastructure Risk Cascade. When Tier 1 is fractured by manual data duplication and process drag, your metrics degrade. As that corrupted data scales to Tier 2, it forces manual patching, completely destroying your cross functional alignment and creating severe operational blind spots. By the time it reaches Tier 3, your executive leadership dashboard is compromised. Global enterprise trends revealed a staggering 70% transformation failure across the market today. Digital shifts stalled completely because independent corporate departments failed to synchronize their baseline workflows. Making critical business decisions using manual based layer data results in severe long term Using manual based layer data results in severe long term margin erosion and systematic capital decay. When your infrastructure layer is manual and broken, the data feeding your leadership dashboard is a corporate risk, not an asset. The digital video of these deep dives will continue to archive on our YouTube channel. But the real live strategic walkthroughs happen right here on the broadcast grid. To continue this unlearning process, access our complete 2026 reference frameworks, scan the QR code on the screen, secure your baseline documentation, lock the time block in your calendar, and join me here next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time as we tackle week 2, breaking the silo, cross-functional communication mechanics. Stop managing the temporary noise, look at the digital horizon, and let's build a corporate legacy that lasts. I am Melissa Ambers. Thank you for your time. Corporate transmission complete.